Heyo, I'm Ayo, and we're playing My Dear Hatchet Man. I saw this on Itch.io, and what's your first name? Type it in and press enter. Well, our name isn't Hunter, but thank you. We're going with your name again, so you could all feel included. Oh. I guess non-binary for all of us? So we could pick. It was somewhat of an old habit of mine to walk. Jesus, well that started off dumb. It was somewhat of an old habit of mine to walk. Every night I walked. Due to the consistency of my routine, walking has helped me put my mind at ease and numb out the fresh, cool nights. Besides, it was a good source to wear me down before bed. I didn't have to rely on sleeping meds as much. There was nothing fun about laying in bed, having my eyes glued to the ceiling and dissociating. I'd become so familiar with the path, staring at the same damaged sidewalk, hitting a couple of pebbles with the tips of my shoes. I would usually disappear into the woods for 20 minutes or so. I wouldn't call myself a nature lover per se. Hell, I could not imagine myself abandoning my phone. But at night, the woods were all I wanted. I don't know why, but this has been the only place that gave me motivation to move, to get out of bed. College hasn't been too kind to me, and having just moved out on my own just recently made me feel all the more isolated. Was there something wrong with me? No. Taking little walks to relax at night to sleep is normal. I never strayed from my path. It has practically become burned into my memory, and I was kind of proud of that. It was like my own little secret hideout, where if I could, one day just disappear from it all. However, today I feel bold. And so, I wandered off of my usual path, heading into the wild. Well, that's never smart. At first, the new environment felt nice. Without noticing, time kind of flew by and all my sense of directions withered away. I now find myself confused and alone in the woods. Fuck. I couldn't recognize any noticeable landmarks to help my way out. Oh, how funny is this? I feel like the final girl of a campy slasher movie being tracked down by the killer. Fuck, I'm so stupid. Stupid. Of course I was going to end up lost. Great. Not only am I lost, it's dark, no stars, only the faint light of the moon, not doing much to help, and I'm losing my sleep as we know it. I could feel the soles of my feet starting to ache. Perhaps now might be a good time to collect myself before I have a full-blown mental meltdown in the middle of the woods. I lay my head low, feeling a heavy weight on me. I took a few deep breaths. Cry or stay silent? Why not cry? Maybe that will attract someone. Too late, I couldn't help but feel warm, frustrating tears run down my face. I let out a few soft sobs, forcing myself to stay quiet as quiet as possible. For God's sake, I really don't know where the hell I am. Snap. The deafening silence was abrupt by what seemed like a twig? Or abrupted? What the hell made that sound? I jumped, startled. I took a few steps back, nearly losing my balance. Wherever that sound came from, I didn't see anything. Aw, don't cry. A muffled voice came behind me. I quickly turned around and see a person. Oh, well look at you, you're cute. I still could not make out his features well. His hair was wild, sticking out from the top of his head. He was holding something. A hatchet? Am I about to get murdered? My muscles tensed up as I prepared to make a break for it. He seemed to notice my mannerism. Hey. He held up his hands, letting the hatchet slip from his fingers and into the grass. His movements were slow and harmless. Take it easy. Who the hell are you? Just some guy trying to help you out. That's it. Oh, look at his cute smile. That wasn't very comforting at all. Especially now that he reached over to the ground, retrieving his hatchet and casually swinging it over his shoulder. Why the hell did he sneak up on me like that? Why was he in the woods? Has he been following me? Where did you even come from? I live here, actually. Just a couple miles. Got my own place and everything. Why do you have an axe? Also, I wasn't crying. It's a hatchet, first of all. Sure. Okay. Are you gonna murder me? What? No, I was getting some firewood. It's starting to get cold around here. I was still trying to come down from the adrenaline. I didn't even notice the chilly breeze. I started connecting the dots. He was probably telling the truth. I am not at all experienced in forest living. Who am I to tell him that he doesn't know what he's talking about? So why exactly did you come here? Well, you want to get out of here, don't you? I know my way around. Maybe I'm being too paranoid. It doesn't seem like he has any intention of hurting someone. See, Name, not everyone is out to get you. Just follow him so we can take you back home. In case you're still skeptical, you could go behind me. Look at that cute smile. Oh my god, he's so adorable! He offered out his hand. Of course, I hesitated, but I took it anyway. Look how cute he is! I could feel his fingerless gloves as he gave my hand a tight squeeze. He had some coarseness, but it didn't bother me. It took us a good while to get back. I must have really wandered way far off than expected. The trees were becoming less dense, and I could see his traits more and more. His eyes were particularly striking. They were both different. I shouldn't be staring. Seems kind of rude. In fact, the whole time I'd been acting rude, huh? Yeah, no kidding. Hey, Sorry for being kinda reluctant back there. Huh. He simply shrugs and smiled at me. I don't blame you. I mean, if I was in your position, I would have probably freaked out if I saw some rando guy with an axe approaching me as well. Hatchet. Sure. That seemed to get a laugh out of him, and let out some tension as well. It's been a while since I left. Nowadays, it's been feeling like I've been so isolated. I am surprised I could achieve a conversation with him, let alone other people. With the time, the dirt path merged into the edge of the sidewalk. Thank God we made it. What a relief. There you go. Look at his adorable smile. Oh my god, thanks! I didn't notice that I was still holding his hand. He gave me a small smile before I stuffed my hands into my pockets. Other than having a breakdown in the woods, this entire experience wasn't that bad. I'll see you around then. He continued to stand in his place while I turned my back from the woods, walking into my neighborhood once again. Stopping at the front door, I gave him one last wave. I couldn't really tell from the distance, but he seemed to wave back. Oh, okay, just skipped right into the room. Look at that, that's pretty, you got string lights! I'm so tired. Exhausted, I immediately threw myself onto my bed, finally able to get some rest. Did you brush your teeth first? My eyes, they feel heavy. That stranger, he seemed nice. I didn't catch his name. I'll ask him tomorrow. My body is aching. It feels like someone is on top of me. Oh god. How long did I sleep for? It seemed way too bright to be early in the morning. I guess it must have been incredibly late when I slept. Last night. Memories started flooding back to the encounter I had with that stranger in the woods. I feel some sort of mix-up comforting jitters sinking in. I had only moved in a few weeks ago. But now, knowing that he has been in the woods the entire time I've been exploring them, it was a little uneasy to process. It's like a part of my privacy had been exposed. Oh, for crying out loud. There's other people in the world besides you. To be fair, I do feel a little silly thinking that. I didn't own the woods. Exactly! If anything, I invaded his privacy by going off my usual path. Although I haven't lived here for very long, I am surprised I haven't heard about a man living in the forest. Then again, it's not like I'm really chatty with the neighbors to inform me about it. Was I thinking too much about this? Am I being insensitive? Should I be feeling like I want to run into him again? I didn't ask for his name. Check on phone, get out of bed. Check the phone. Before doing anything, I wanted to catch up on what has been happening. I only seen one message. It was an unknown number. Open it. Hey. Do you know the chapter we are studying for English? This is Erica, by the way. Oh. Erica. I remember her. She's part of my class. I could recall we exchanged phone numbers because our professor recommended it. Jesus, English, it's easy. Stop. She was the one who approached me. Didn't talk to her a lot. She didn't seem like the type, but would casually answer questions in class. One thing that stuck out, however, is that she had an incredible style. She had an eye for colors and patterns, from what I could tell. It was surprising that she wasn't taking a fashion course, but instead an interior design course. Erica was cool and seemed like she had her shit together, unlike me. Chapter 4, I believe. With a groan, I forced myself up from the comfort of my bed. To be honest, it seemed better to do something than be slacking around in my sheets. This has been the first time I've been motivated to do anything in a while. That's kinda sad. Yeah. Sounds like in my life. Dang. Thanks. Sorry, can you tell I don't text often? That made me smile, just a tad. Well, good. It seemed like a stupid decision to go back into the forest just to thank some stranger. Dangerous, some might say. I mean, at least the sun was still out, so it wouldn't be as bad as staying in the woods at night, right? I stuffed my phone into my pocket and prepared to get ready. I walked back into the familiar path. The cold air was as sharp as ever. I could feel it nipping at the tip of my nose. I tried to recall the path I took that initially got me lost yesterday. It didn't take long for me to fall back into a daze, feeling senselessly strayed. Alright, name. Just thank him and you can go on your merry way, and get some shut-eye. Simple as that. Thoughts started to speculate in my head the more I paced around in a frantic circle. Why am I being stupid? He should be here, right? Why would he be here again? Why did I think this was a good idea? It would be nice to have someone to share woods with. What if he hurts me, like he did... What? Oh, you're here again. Oh, thank God. It might have been my desperation, but the sound of his voice took off a huge wave of relief. I turned around, too eagerly, seeing a smug expression on his face. He made me happy, in a way. You seem to get easily lost. What if I wasn't here to help you out, Doe Eyes? His comment made me play with the hem of my sweater. I could feel my cheeks starting to burn. Hopefully he didn't notice. Well, I actually came to see you. Why did I say it like that? I wanted to thank you. Properly, I mean. I know I already did last night, but I might have come off as crass, and I still feel bad about that whole ordeal. I started to ramble at this point. I needed to get this over with before I come off as hysterical. So, thank you, Alan. I'm sorry? My name is Alan. Might as well get it out of the way. Oh, well, thanks for helping me out, Alan. I gave his name a try. It came out softer than how I usually speak. I noticed him begin to smile, avoiding eye contact. Oh, he likes us back. I was beginning to feel the silence between us start to grow. No problem. Besides, it's really sweet of you to come back just to tell me that. Oh, he was flirting. Ooh. It flattered you? You didn't mind it, but... It flattered you. It was kind of cute how he became so bashful, then flirtatious so suddenly. I couldn't help but smile back at him. We began to start a whole different conversation from there. At first, it was just regular small talk, most of it about me, of course. I told him what I did for a living and what I was currently studying. He seemed to be a good listener, or at least I think he was trying to be. it became evident that I kind of ran out of things to talk about. It was only fair to ask him about it, right? I don't want to make it seem that I only like talking about myself. Not to sound rude or anything, but I'm a little curious about your whole thing here. Oh, I know I just moved in and it's none of my business, but why do you live all the way out here? How come no one has ever told me about you? He seemed to give some thought to my questions. He simply gave me a shrug. Don't know. I always figured I lived better on my own, I guess. At least that's what I think. So maybe he was just a bit of a hermit. I totally don't mean to judge him. In a way, I kinda do feel for him not wanting to interact with others. He was just a little more on the opposite end. Maybe he thinks I'm the weird one for wanting to interact with him. It's not every day someone just comes back to thank you for helping them out of the woods. For a loner, he sure was easy to talk to. He was the one to first start a conversation better than I ever could. Hey. He snapped me out of it, like he knew I was about to get lost in my thoughts. Wanna go check something out? I think you might like it. I blinked. The way he worded it sounded very vague. Yeah, he did. I don't know. It depends. Are you gonna trick me and plan my murder? Sounds very fishy of you, Alan. I joked, and he seemed to get a good laugh out of it. It was not a very good joke, but it felt good to just laugh with somebody. Maybe I needed this. I just needed to talk to someone. I mean, now you got me curious. Might as well, right? Good. He seemed extremely pleased that I agreed. He took hold of my shoulder and guided me to the direction he planned to take me. We both took our time walking through the forest, having a whole casual conversation to make up for it. It felt like being reunited. Jesus, why am I stuttering? With an old friend and trying to catch up on your lives together. It was nice. I began to share some stuff to Alan that I haven't been able to talk about for a while. In return, he told me little things about himself. I took notice of him trying to crush crunchy leaves under his shoes, sometimes getting bummed out if one didn't crunch. Oh my god, I'd do that. It was kind of cute. I noticed his skin looked slightly more sickly pale, tiny but still noticeable scratches across his cheek. And his eyes bore dark circles. It almost looked like he was about to collapse, but he looked so gentle. He seemed to have noticed that I was looking at him. Oh no, I got caught. I ducked my head, scratching the side of my cheek. Before I could come up with an excuse that I totally wasn't staring at him, Alan pushed my head down, getting onto my knees rather painfully. What the? Shh. Alan crouched down beside me, carefully moving closer to what seemed like a small stream, with wildflowers and vegetation, almost like a mini meadow covering the entire land. Oh, then I see a deer. It was happily nibbling on some grass, and on occasion would twitch its cute, fluffy tail. I love deer. Both me and Alan didn't want to move a muscle, as to not scare the cute creature, but we still enjoyed the view. Little cutie, ain't he? I always come here to see if he is around. That was adorable. Who knew Alan had such a sensitive soul? At least that's what I thought. It may not come as a surprise to you, but my favorite animals are deer. Is that why you called me Doe Eyes before? Do I remind you of a deer, Alan? Alan stayed quiet, a little taken back by my question. However, another sound stopped him from responding. He got lucky. Huh? They're new. Another deer emerged from the woods, joining in. I couldn't deny that it was rather an adorable sight to see. Maybe it's more than one reason. What was that? It was barely a whisper. I could only manage to hear a few words from him. Nothing. Anyway, want to grab a bite to eat? I know there is a store that's not far from here. Why not? I'm getting peckish. He swiftly got to his feet again, not bothering to dust off his clothes. He still had the decency to hold out his hand for me to get up. Alright, we probably won't take long if we get going now. Much like before, he kept holding my hand through the entire walk back to civilization. It stopped feeling so foreign, and I knew Alan trusted him enough to hold hands. I don't know why he made me feel so safe. I feel melodramatic thinking about it. Everything seemed to get blurry, and I could feel my stomach doing flips. Maybe I should save. It was then that the obnoxiously bright lights of the store pulled me out of the trance. Hot fudge! There were a couple of people in the small store, most of them adults, collecting some boxes of beer. Alan started scanning around as if to memorize where everything was. His attention was immediately caught by the ice aisle. His smile brightened like a child. Pick anything you want. It's on me. How generous of him. I look around and decide to get ice cream, slushie, or soda. Get some ice cream. I reached into the cold freezer, grabbing myself whatever seemed most appealing. Alan flashed me a smile. He seemed giddy that we got the same thing. Got everything? Yeah, let's go. Full box. Right? Is that what it says? Full box? We left the store. Basking in our glorious treat, Alan proceeded to scarf his ice cream down. You're gonna choke yourself eating like that. Then that's how I want to go. Here lies Alan, death by ice cream. He dramatically put his hands on his heart and lowered his head all gloomy. I snorted and playfully pushed him, though I could barely manage to make him lose his footing. People will think you died from lactose then. I mean, I kinda am lactose intolerant, just a bit. And you took that risk? I like to live on the edge. Oh, that's not creepy. I roll my eyes. No, seriously, I stole 5 chocolate bars when nobody was looking. You? What? You shoplifted? He gave me a proud smirk, unzipping his coat and showing me his loot. I was dumbfounded. I couldn't fucking believe it. This man just robbed a store. It was only chocolate. Get over it. How did I not even notice him? He must have been real sneaky or quick. You should see the look on your face right now. He reached in, grabbing one from his stash. You can't just... That isn't... I said it was on me, right? They aren't gonna waste their time over some shit like stolen candy. Besides, his fingers fidgeted with the wrapper, prying it open and taking a bite before nudging it towards me. Stolen stuff tastes better. Hesitantly, I reached over and took the tiniest bite. I couldn't explain it, but he was right. It was like the forbidden candy bar. Still, I feel kind of bad that he went out of his way to steal stuff from me. Offer him a taste of yours or stay silent? What, of your ice cream? Or your candy bar? Did he give you a different candy bar? There you go. It only seems fair, right? It was the least I could do. I motioned my ice cream towards him. At first he gave me a confused look, but soon got the hint. Wow, look how cute. He leaned down, accepting my offer. Unknowingly, he grazed the top of my hand as he held the ice cream. Or maybe he did. I could feel him tightening his grip slightly as he looked up at me. I could feel the tips of my ears beginning to heat up. I could not look anywhere else besides his gaze. You have good taste, doe eyes. He only smiled at me before walking away and continued to eat his forbidden chocolate bar. Hey! I followed him soon after. We walked all the way back to my house, eating the stolen candy. I got some sort of cheap thrill knowing we could have potentially gotten caught, and Alan shared that feeling as well. Being with him was thrilling. I didn't notice how late it had gotten since I reached the comfort of my bed. I felt tired, sure, but I also feel satisfied? At ease? Whatever I felt, I knew I was going to see him again tomorrow. Huh? I opened my eyes, but can't see anything. I try to feel around, but nothing appears to be in front of me. Oh god, that was creepy. Fingers started tightening around my throat. I started to claw desperately, my lungs feeling like they were about to collapse. Holy shit. What a way to start the morning. Don't bother or check the messages. For fuck's sake, it isn't even a person that woke me up. Instead, it was some goddamn emergency alert. Something about another missing person. Seems like it is out of my control. My head was pounding and I felt incredibly drained. The time reminded me that I only got a measly 3 hours of sleep last night. A half-empty bottle of sleeping meds on its side. I did not want to get up. I wanted to see Alan, though. I wonder what he was going to plan today. He had a knack for keeping me on my toes and surprising me. He makes me feel warmth every time I think about him. He was kind of strange, but it was charming in a way. Well, if I was ever going to see him, I might as well... if I was ever going... Oh, yeah, okay. I might as well get ready. Jeez, I can't read. Despite the rough morning, I didn't feel quite as tired as that... Oops. It could be because I was pretty much looking forward to meeting up with the local cryptid man I just met 2 days ago. It was certainly worth getting lost in the woods just to hang out with Alan. Much better than wasting my time being cooped up inside my home, water bottles and dirty laundry taking up the space. Right on cue, I see Alan from the distance, waiting for me, I presume. He appeared to be playing around with his hatchet before noticing my presence. He cutely waved at me with the biggest grin on his face. Did he always have sharp molars? Name, you made it! Hey, Alan, sorry if I was late. Not really, you're right on time, actually. Really? Huh. I figured because of my lack of sleep, I would have arrived later than expected. Alan rested his hand on his knees, trying to get at my eye level. He was really close. Ready for what I had planned for today? He flashed me a hopeful smile. How could I say no to his excitement? Yeah, let's... Before I could answer, my phone went off. Sorry. It feels rude to answer a phone call when Alan is around waiting for me to answer. But what if the call was something important? Hey, what's up? Oh, he's mad. He mad boy. Immediately after speaking, I look over to Alan, who seemed to have an annoyed expression on his face. Sorry if I'm bothering you at the moment. I know it's the end of the week, and trust me, I want nothing more than to shun the rest of the world as well, but I want you to meet me at the park. Is that okay? I don't see why not. Erica might have needed something from me. It wouldn't be cool to leave her like that. Sure thing. Can I bring a friend over? My eyes hovered over to Alan. His annoyed face now brightened when I mentioned him. Although, once I took my eyes off him, I could have sworn that his smile dropped once again. As long as you get your hermit ass over here, I don't see the harm. Don't be late or I'll end up ditching ya. I couldn't tell if she was joking or not. She has a strange sense of humor that sometimes flew over my head. She's the one who wants you to come over. You better wait. We both hung up, and I looked back at Alan. His displeased face was replaced by a curious one. Whoa. He appeared to be looking at my phone. Guess I've been gone for a while. What? My phone? You've never seen a phone before? Oh no, not that. I do have a phone, but... Alan proceeds to reach in his back pocket, pulling something out. It was a phone, an old flip phone. I hadn't seen these bricks for what seemed like forever. Mine isn't as cool as yours. He smiled bashfully before putting his phone away. Wow, you need to get caught up with the current times, Alan. Our phones do much more stuff now. Ah, that's incredible. We both started to walk to the park as I showed him all the apps I had. Being in the woods, there wasn't any steady signal to showing him any type of social media was thrown out the window. Nevertheless, he was still impressed as I bombarded him with this new information. If what he said was true, then he must have been off of society for a long time. A really long time. Why was he in the woods? What happened to him? I did not realize that huge scar on his arm. Were those stitches? Oh God, Alan, what happened to you? Both me and Alan continued to talk about our day as we made our way to the park. I wonder why Erica wanted me to come. We didn't have a study or do anything class-related, which is what she usually calls me for. She told me that she doesn't usually date classmates or hang out with them outside of class because, well, too many guys thought they had a chance of borrowing my bras and were disappointed after I had the gall to reject them. Yikes. Probably why she decided to approach me rather than any of the male classmates. Name. A voice I didn't recognize called my name. Alan put on a displeased look, his eyes watching the other side of the park. I could see two people. One I could immediately recognize as Erica, the other person, however, I'd never seen him before. How did he know my name? Who are you? Oh my God, name? Hi. This guy was sure eccentric. From the tone of my voice, he could tell I was confused. Yeah, who are you? Do you not remember me? He sounded kinda disappointed. Jeez, dude, now you're making me feel bad. I gave him a good long look, the hamster wheels in my head beginning to move. Actually, Stu? The guy gave me a smile and a wink. Okay. Right on. Oh my God, it was him! I could see the life nearly draining out of his eyes. I could barely hold my excitement in. Stu was a good friend of mine back since we were kids. Even before the two of us attended school together, we knew each other. It was when I left for college we kinda lost touch. Why couldn't you just greet me yourself, you bozo? I wanted to surprise you. What a guy, he always had something up his sleeve. He seemed quite as pleased as I was. I didn't think I would have missed him so much. Oh, I totally forgot. I had been so caught up with Stu and Erica, I seemed to have just left Alan out of the conversation. However, by the look of his face, it didn't appear that he wanted to be part of this. I kind of felt bad. This is Alan. Hey. His tone was very uninterested. The three remained silent after Alan greeted himself. Erica had this look in her eye. I couldn't tell what she was thinking, but she appeared to be deep in thought. Please, somebody break the silence. Stay quiet. Say something. Great, looks like it's up to me. So, wait. The three of them all looked at me once I spoke up. How did you and Erica even know each other? Stu remained silent, but Erica spoke up for him. Oh, he approached me after seeing me talking to you after class, saying that he knew you. I was a bit stunned. Did Stu go to the same college as me and Erica did? That's a bit questionable. Alan spoke up. It was a little startling since he has only said one word the entire conversation. Erica only eyed him while Stu seemed to become stiff. Things seemed to have gotten out of hand now. Why didn't you just approach Name in the first place? That's true. Why didn't he? Stu is always the type to make the first move when greeting someone. Hey now, it's a little rude to intrude on someone when you first met, don't you think, big guy? You're avoiding the question. The two were now staring each other down. Me and Erica looked at each other, as if we were both reading each other's mind, plagued with worry. Surprisingly, Erica stepped in. Thank God. If you really want to know, he approached me first because he was asking for my number. That makes more sense. Oh, I see. What? Name? No, I get it. I'll see you around then, Stu. It was at this point Alan took hold of me with a satisfied look on his face. Without a word, he took me away from the park. He wrapped his arms around me protectively. I can't explain why, but him being so close to me like this, brought me comfort. He gave me a comforting smile, which I also returned. It was getting to the Yandere part. Ah! He followed me! Name, wait! I looked back, seeing Erica running up to me, Stu right behind her. I do feel bad for leaving them at the drop of a hat. Alan looked at me, shaking his head disapprovingly, as if telling me that talking to them wasn't worth it. Let me explain myself, please. Ignore them or listen to them. Yeah, why not? Probably make Alan mad. I couldn't leave him like this. He was my friend. My first ever friend. Alright, Stu, go ahead. He side-eyed, looking to the ground and fiddling with his pockets of his pants. Listen, Erica worded it weird. I know that back then I wasn't, well, what I mean is that please don't perceive me to be that type of way. I really just wanted to see you. I heard enough, Stu. I gave him a reassuring smile. Remembering Stu back then, he was kind of a flirt with everyone. It shouldn't surprise me that he tried to get with Erica. I don't know if I really got upset at Stu for getting into his old ways or if I got upset that he was flirting with Erica. Why would we be upset about that? We got a new man. Upset at Stu's antics, upset he tried to get with Erica? You don't know why. You don't know why. And I don't care. I just want to get this feeling off my chest. I breathed out, still smiling at the two. I know you're trying your best. I am. He said it so seriously, but yet with so much sincerity. And with that, I left with Alan. I tried to relax, tried to distract myself. I was bundled into a ball at the end of my couch, Alan sitting on the other side. The living room's dark, with only the light of the TV giving any life. My attention wasn't on the TV, however. It was towards Alan. His eyes stayed glued to the screen before shifting them in my direction. This is the second time I've been caught staring at him. I averted my gaze immediately. It must have been weird to him. You okay? I'm sorry. Are you still upset about what happened? I didn't really want to answer, but my silence was deafening. I'm being stupid. Sorry, I don't know why I got so upset. I couldn't control it. I could see him softening his face at the corner of my eyes. I didn't know why I started rambling to him, but I did. I suddenly felt a weight on top of me. I was being pushed down onto my back. Alan had pinned me, his hands gently wrapping around my wrists. Fam, you better stop, boy! Name. You know you can tell me anything. Alan? My heart started to pound, and I felt him started to come closer to my face. I went stiff. Hold him or kiss him? Go for the kiss him. Go for the kiss. I pressed my lips against his. He seemed to be taken by surprise, but leaned into our kiss. It was deep and passionate. Alan then pressed up against me, and I could immediately feel his, excitement. PG-13. I mean, I know it's like 18 plus, but I really like you, doe eyes. Okay, well, so I think we're getting back into the story now. Let's just say he took his shirt off and we noticed something on his chest. And now it says that is until... Holy shit, I saw a scar, a huge scar. Yeah, he's definitely got a scar. In fact, his whole body was covered in injuries. He was in a way worse shape than I expected. More scratches, cigar burns, and against the scar at the side of his abdomen. It didn't look fresh, but still, how long has he had these before? Alan, what happened to you? Oh, these? He looked away from my gaze, brushing one of his scars. Some of these are from childhood, others are more recent. We both stood silent with my concern still weighing down. Don't worry about it. Alan, these are clearly not simple scratch marks. Are you hurt? It's okay, doe eyes. I swear they didn't even hurt. What? What is he going on about? I'll explain later. Just please, let's keep going. I want you right now. We're gonna have to cut again, aren't we? I shouldn't push it if he doesn't want to talk about it. Okay. Okay, we're back. I'm pretty sure that whole scene is over now. Alrighty. Hey, I got an idea. Do you plan robbing the convenience store again? Alan got up from my chest, rolling his eyes. I'll leave that for another day, but no, I think you'll like this much better. He took my hand and guided me back to the woods. It was a bit of a walk, like most of our little get-togethers, but for some reason it felt longer than before. Gradually, the trees became sparse, and patches of the night sky peeked through the branches. We were going uphill, having a bit of a hike on our way there. He seemed to have noticed that I was getting fatigued. If you want, I could carry you. It's no bother. You're fine, or let him carry you. It seemed a little silly, but I wouldn't mind. I raised my arms up, motioning him to pick me up. He smiled at me, just as quickly, lifting my body, carrying me bridal style. You're incredibly cute. Shut up. See? We both lay down in the soft grass. Oh, that is adorable now. The sky was completely bare of any clouds, and the darkness of the woods made the tiniest dots of the stars twinkle brighter. It was so nice and cool out here. I looked over to Alan, my eyes glowing with awe. It made me smile seeing him like a kid in a candy store. What's your favorite? Constellation, I mean. What's your favorite constellation? Ooh. Your zodiac sign, or you don't know. I don't know that or that, so I'm just gonna go with the zodiac sign. My favorite constellation is my zodiac one. Really? Which one? Oh, no! What do I pick? Oh, I backed up. Hello? Where's mine? What the? Okay. Well, I don't get to pick mine. I guess we'll go with, you remind me of a lion, so we'll go with Leo. That's cool. Yeah, which one is your favorite? Orion. The hunter one. Why is that? The story behind it is cool. And I shared the same last name. Alan or Oren? Or Alan Oren? That's your full name? Alan simply gave me a nod, sighing peacefully, taking in the fresh air around us. You sure know a lot about constellations, huh? Yeah, ever since I was a kid. This is probably the first thing I know something personal about him. My eyes went from looking at the stars to the stitched scars of his arm. Alan? About those scars. Oh, look at the stars are reflecting in his eyes. That's cute. I didn't notice that. I see his smile drop, and I immediately feel bad for bringing it up. I'm sorry. I know you probably don't want to talk about it, but it's okay. You're just worried about me, right? I gave him a nod, laying on my side, looking over to him. I gave him a few moments for him to collect his thoughts. He finally spoke up. Well, to start off, most of these scars are recent, only due to me and my recklessness. Like trying to feed a bear. Jesus, Alan. I know, it was dumb. Extremely dumb. I lightly punched his arm, as if it was some sort of punishment for putting himself in danger like that. He only retaliated with a soft chuckle. His smile faded, however. Not all of them are new, though. He shifted uncomfortably. I gave him another moment. I was kind of a troubled kid, got bullied a lot, and well, got pretty tired of it. That I got physical. So those cigarette burns were from your bullies? No, they were from my older brother. What? You have a brother? He did that to you? I have 3, actually. This was spinning my entire world. Alan must have been through a lot. Is that why he's in the woods? To escape from it all? We were pretty dysfunctional. Mom was constantly in and out of hospital, so 2 of my older brothers had to take care of us. The eldest, he burnt cigarettes on me whenever I would win in a fight, telling me I finally became what I was meant to do. It was to fight back and not let others push me. I'd hate to say it worked. What about your other brothers? Second eldest wanted to pretend that everything was fine and ignored our problems. He was desperately trying to be like the dad from our group. When I didn't need one, I wanted a brother. He heavily sighed after his rant. I kept myself quiet to let him continue. My youngest brother, I got along with him at first, but he wasn't the worst out of all of them, but we had a fallout. I'm sorry. It's alright, they were nothing compared to my school life. I got called Crazy-Eyed Alan by my entire class. I only gave him a sad expression. Feeling incredibly sorry for him, I scooted closer to him, practically touching shoulders. Well, you did a lot more than just touch shoulders earlier, so I can't imagine how long you must have endured it. And one instance in particular pushed me over the edge. That day I decided to drop out of school, leaving my family and never looked back. We both stayed silent, continuing to look up at the night sky. I always thought I was meant to be alone. I didn't like being around people. I started to feel his hand starting to brush against mine. That was until I met you, Doe Eyes. He took hold of my hand, squeezing it tightly. It made my heart race. Alan, I look over to him, meeting his eyes, giving me the softest expression I've ever seen from him. I'm glad to have met you, or I think your eyes are beautiful. We're glad to meet him. I'm glad to have met you. I gripped his hand back tightly, and he responded with his thumb rubbing against the back of my hand. I feel the same. I think I should go back home now. Alright then. We both got up from our spot. I stretched out my arms, feeling a yawn coming up. Alan noted, standing beside me. Let me carry you. It's fine, Alan. I'm just a little tired. Before I could get on my feet, I felt his arms hook around my legs and back and proceeded to pick me up from the ground at ease. Hey! He gave me a smile, holding me closer to his body. I insist! I gave in, pouting on the way there before my eyes began to grow heavy. I leaned into his chest, making him my personal pillow, and rested my eyes. I had fallen asleep on him. I could barely tell what was going on around me, only feeling my body being set down in something soft and comfortable. I smiled, cuddling up to something soft I could find next to me. Before I drifted off to sleep, something warm pressed against my cheek, and I heard Alan's voice. Good night, Doe Eyes. Okay, well, that was cute. I'm wondering if there's different endings. I know it's probably going to be creepy, and if you want to play and see the whole scene that I had to cut out, then you go right ahead. It's on Itch.io. It's called My Dear Hatchet Man. Like, no, it's fine. When life gives you lemons, you read them. I'm sorry. Don't. Only some of you will get that. Okay, well, thank you for watching. My name's Ao, again, as I said. If you liked, maybe leave a like, subscribe, I don't know. Thanks for watching. Bye.